Hello and welcome to this storm update. It is almost 10 o'clock and the winds are starting to pick up now. As you see, start to see some 40 plus mile an hour wind gusts here, even nearing 50. We got a wind gust up to 48 miles an hour at Seagirt. That's only going to continue to get worse. Look at how low that pressure is, 29.29 inches there. And 49 mile an hour wind gust at Barnegat Light. They've actually had a peak wind gust of 68 miles an hour, it looks like, so they've already gusted to 68, it looks like. The stronger winds have arrived on the Jersey Shore. We got a 56 mile an hour wind gust at 4C south-southeast at 40 gusting, and looks like they've had a max gust. Yeah, that would be their max gust right there. Let's look at some of these buoys here. That buoy's only gusted to 42. It's going to gust a lot more. On the South Shore here in West Gilgal, we got a wind gust of 40 miles an hour. So the winds are starting to pick up. Also, you see Kings Point actually saying wind. All right, this is reversed. The gust is 54, has the gust at 36, but they've actually gusted as far as 54 miles an hour. So the winds are now starting to pick up across area, and now we're going to start to see those power outage numbers increase. And you can see here all these wind gusts here that are going on. We've got another 55 mile an hour wind gust here in extreme southeast New Jersey. So we're going to take a look now and show you what it's like around the area. I want to show you Seaside. For that'll be the first one we'll look at here, just to give you an idea of let's put the sound on so you can hear that. You can see how the camera is shaking violently. So they've got some very strong winds that they're getting there, right off the water. So right by the water is where the strongest winds are. See that? See how that camera is shaking? That's a lot of wind right there that they're getting. So they're getting into some pretty strong winds right now. These are 50 plus mile an hour winds, but the winds are going to get worse. So we're not even in the worst of it yet, and they're already gusting to over 50 miles an hour. So you know we're going to be gusting 60 to 70. A lot of people think it's going to be more 50 to 60. I'm thinking more 60 to 70. People are continuing to underestimate this storm, particularly News 12, which isn't a surprise. Let's take a look at our... and by the way, News 12 is all over the South Shore. They haven't had one reporter in the middle of the island throughout this whole damn storm, which is, pretty shameful, really. But, we are a forgotten wasteland, so it's not really a surprise. And when we get that hurricane, we're going to be completely forgotten here in the middle of the island. We'll be sitting on the dark, completely forgotten. Well, it's all going to be about the South Shore and a little bit about the North Shore. We're just going to be forgotten. So it's just a taste of things to come when the hurricane hits. You can see the wires moving here a little bit on this camera. It's Old Country Road. Let's see if we can find. Let's see what it looks like here. Doesn't look too bad yet, but the worst of the winds hasn't gotten to us yet. And like I said, it is going to be in the next hour. We're going to see these conditions deteriorate because you already see how much worse it is in New Jersey with the wind, and that's what we're going to be seeing here as it gets. Let's see if we can head a little more southwesterly here toward New Jersey and see. You can see these traffic lights moving in the wind here, but these winds are going to pick up a lot as time goes by. We have a lot of alerts, too, in New Jersey as well. A lot of these alerts going on. Flooding. A lot of flooding. Crash. All right, it's unrelated to the storm. We just have crashes there on the Garden State Parkway, but looks like we've got flooding reports here on a lot of the roads in North Jersey. No flooding reports so far on Long Island. I don't see any. We're going to be looking and seeing if I see any. None yet. But it will continue to get worse, and conditions will rapidly deteriorate within the next hour or so because you're already seeing that happen in New Jersey right now. Let's go to 511 New Jersey. Look at some cameras there, so you can take a look and see what's to come at this point. Because this will kind of show you what's to come. Let's go to Tom's River. So we're going to find a camera right here. Yeah, this will be good. Yeah, you can see how the camera is moving up and down like that. They're getting a lot of wind there in Tom's River right now. And that's what we're going to be dealing with. Let's see if this one will work. Oh, look at how this camera is moving around. Wow, that's a lot of movement from that camera. So they're getting probably sustained 30 to 40 mile an hour winds with gusts 50 to 60 right now over there where that camera is. there in looks like Seaside Heights. So that's what's going to be heading our way within the next hour or so. That's what we're going to be getting into. So let's go to the power outage situation right now. We have 1,131 customers without power. It's just getting started. Most of the power outages are in the middle of the island. Actually, most of them are just in the middle of the island, it seems. A few on the south shore, but mostly middle of the island. Not a surprise. And let's go look at JCP&L. They're already up to 9,140 outages. Not too many in Ocean County yet. Most of the outages seem to be more inland. And again, this is because they're getting the flooding. So the flooding sometimes can bring down trees onto power lines as well. And that's one of the things that they're getting there. Back to the weather and hazards map, because I think we do have a few flood warnings that have already been issued. Yes, we have flood warnings already issued for a lot of these areas that are inland here. JFK just gusted to 40. So we're getting into the stronger winds now, and things are going to continue to deteriorate. Teterboro gusting up to 37 miles an hour. So this is what's heading our way, these wind gusts here, and it's going to continue to get worse. You're looking to your west and you're saying, hey, wait a minute, I don't see anything crazy. But here's the thing. If we go back over to the models here, which we'll go over here, I'll just go to the Ventus sky and point this out to you. I'll pull this out to the long range here so you can see, look at this. This shows you the LLJ that we're in right here, the atmospheric river, because LLJ is really too conservative a term to refer to this kind of phenomena. If you go look at wind gusts here, you'll see that the stronger wind gusts are along the coast. And you can see already, all right, maybe it is overestimating a little bit. It has 67 over when it's really 50s. But, yeah, this seems to be a little fast. This has it as of 10 o'clock. So I think this model might be just a little bit fast with the winds here. Maybe a little bit fast. You know what? Let's go look at the NAM. Let me go to let's go to windy.com because I can pull up the NAM on that one. I'm using these sites instead of tidbits, all right, because it gives us a better resolution. And I'm not going to pay for Pivotal. That's ridiculous. So, NAM wind gusts. All right, so this is the NAM wind gusts right now. Let's see. Yeah, it is overestimating. It has it up to 65. We're not gusting that far yet. So for whatever reason, the models seem to be, this is the NAM, and see how it gets it even worse. So you have to subtract 10 miles, because they're a little bit off. The models are overestimating, all right? So this is the NAM at midnight here, all right? And this is where it gets frightening. Gusts to 75. So if we subtract 10 miles an hour, that still gives us 65 mile an hour wind. The point is, it's going to get worse as this moves. So you'll see as the isobars tighten up. So we go from earlier, you could see, and then you could see how the colors get brighter along the coast later on as the isobars tighten up. And that's what's going to happen as the low, that LLJ gets more concentrated into a smaller area. It's going to get narrower and therefore stronger, especially as it gets out over that warm water. It's going to pick up more energy. So I'll go back to the NAM. I'll go back to the Ventus sky here, and we'll go back and look at wind gusts on this here. So we subtract 10 miles an hour from this, all right? So that'll get us close to what's exactly happening right now. So we'll subtract, and then we'll go up to 11 here, and you'll see that keeps us gusting to around 50. And let's move this to Wednesday, 63. So maybe 50 to 60. Maybe we'll stay lucky and we'll avoid the 50 to 60. But this is just one model here. This is just one model, and that's the thing. And we still stay in this LLJ until still staying into it until probably 4 in the morning. Then we finally start getting out of it. You can see there as the winds and the drier air starts coming in and the wind shifting off to the west there. I'll go to tidbits. I know it's a little more of a legitimate site, so we'll go to that. Because I really don't want to spend too much time looking at models. We've looked at them, plenty of them, the past couple of days, but because we do have some more model runs in, I figured we'll go ahead and look at the latest NAM model. And you'll see here, it definitely gets more convective as we get later in the evening. You can see that's those thunderstorms that could be over us, and they could be over us, like I said, till in the wee hours of the morning there. And there's that squall line And it all depends on where that squall line develops. Wherever you get a thunderstorm, that could bring some of those stronger winds down from aloft, and you could get a pretty strong wind gust out of that as well. We're going to go to the let's go to the 850 height and wind here. So I'll show you that LLJ again, and you can see we're just getting into the heart of it is going to be. Said the worst of it's going to be as we get toward midnight. That's when we're going to get into the worst part of it right there. Let's look at our wind. Yeah, surface wind. All right, so this is our surface wind here. You can see here. Problem is that it subtracts a lot over the land. You see it subtracts a lot over the land, but you'll see that the colors get brighter as we head toward midnight, and that's when the worst of it is going to hit. So, been through that before. I'm not going to really go over the models again. We're really in a nowcasting mode. Again, this is the current radar. You can see there's what looks like a squall line around Philadelphia right now. Let's go and look at. We can pull up a Philadelphia live camera, maybe. Let's go back to Seaside here. I think they have a Philadelphia live camera, so we can get a chance of what's going on in Philly. Again, look at how that camera is shaking. This is, again, Seaside Heights here, right along the water. You can see. Let's see if we can get close to Philadelphia, because I think they do have a Philadelphia camera here. And we can show you what's going on over there before I wrap the storm alert up. Well, it doesn't look too bad at all. I think it's passed through Philadelphia, because I don't see a whole lot of wind here at all. Wow, actually looks pretty calm. So I think it's passed through Philadelphia at this point. So here it is right here. Philadelphia. Is this the latest radar? It just doesn't make sense why it's calm in Philadelphia, because it should have. Yeah, it looks like maybe it just passed through Philadelphia. But it's heading in, so this is going to be about, this line here is what we're watching here, and this is going to probably be about, I would say, an hour or two away from New York City. So it approaches New York City, say a little after 11. It gets to our area, maybe 11:30, 12 o'clock. That's when we're going to see our strongest winds, I think, from that system. So we'll keep an eye updated on that. Let's refresh our power outage map here. New Jersey is now up to 71,000 outages. Looks like the southwestern part of the state is getting hit the hardest, because that's the area that's seen the higher winds. The other parts haven't seen it yet. And going into Pennsylvania, we have 205,000 without power. You can see all over the state here. New York, obviously, western New York. You can see it's starting to march eastward now into Delaware County. You can see incredible amounts of power outages here, as we've had a lot of fallen trees. And again, the ground is saturated, so you have to remember, people are like, well, the wind gusts, we have bare trees. People have made a comment. Yeah, but the ground is saturated, and when the ground is saturated, it cannot hold as much moisture, and the tree roots get weakened, and even where the poles are put in, it gets weakened, and things fall down more easily than they would have had the ground been dry. We've had so much rain, the ground is saturated, so therefore we are seeing all this. Let's now look at our rivers and lakes. We do have latest rainfall reports. I guess we can go over that just to show you briefly here how much rain certain areas have had. You see a lot of areas have gotten over an inch of rain. Some areas approaching 2 inches, like Passaic County, over 2 inches already. Nassau County, we've had about an inch. The city's been over an inch. Orange County, closing in on 2 inches in some areas. Rockland County, closing in on 2 inches. Suffolk County, closing in on 1 inch. In a lot of the county. Same for Westchester, over an inch. Let's go to our rivers and lakes here. Let's see what we've got here. We've got 11 gauges now in flood already. So we'll go over those. All right, so the tidal ones, you can see Barnegat Bay flooding, Raritan Bay flooding, the Great South Bay at Lindenhurst also flooding, Long Island Sound near Bridgeport also flooding. All this rain coming out of these rivers, and then you have the tide that's coming in as well, because the wind is blowing the water in, and that's what's causing all the flooding. You can see all this flooding inland too as well. This is going to get way worse before it gets better here. Look at that. That's just going straight up right there. South Branch Raritan River. Kind of got a forecast where it's going to crest. These areas that have a big snowpack that you're going to be melting on top of all this rain is where you're going to be getting a lot of this flooding. Let's look at the Toms River right now. Not flooding yet. Pine barrens have a good way of soaking up all this rain, but a lot of areas don't. And we also have flooding here at Little Neck as well. Flooding being reported as well. West Pond at Glen Cove also in yellow, so we got flooding there. Let's go back to our weather and hazards map here, and we'll refresh this one more time, see what new wind gusts we've got. 43-mile-an-hour wind gust now at JFK, a 45-mile-an-hour wind gust at LaGuardia. So, yeah, the strong winds are starting to get into our area now. Let's go and look at our rainfall here, and you already have parts of Nassau County over an inch already. Suffolk County hasn't made it there yet. They will shortly. So we have plenty more rain to come. It's still raining. Closing in on 1.5 inches in Toms River. We still got plenty of rain to go. The heaviest rain is actually with that score line. You can see inland definitely got worse with the rain, and this is where you got all your flash flood warning, your flood warnings along those rivers and stuff. So that's going to wrap up this storm alert, and I'll try to have one in another hour or so. So we'll see if I wind up going out there and looking at the storm or not, depending on how bad it gets, because like I said, being in here and not being able to see what's going on is really, really, really bothers me. I can't see anything in here, especially if the power goes out. I'm going to be completely in the dark, and that's something I can deal with emotionally or mentally. So, anyway, be safe, and I'll try my best to keep you informed.